I'll keep the hi-hat going.
Can you come next for a second?
Yeah, you might hear me sound like I'm dropped because I gotta take this and I gotta pick it up.
You just do what you want, babe. It ain't my affair. You do what you want, honey, and see if I can. Take all of your chances. Drink wine till you're blind. You'll never make this boy blow his sweet mind. And if you really believe that since you've been gone, that you broke my heart, you couldn't be more wrong. I don't miss your sweet loving. I don't miss your soft kiss. I spend the days and the long nights telling lies like this.
Well, I met Gareth Owen. We were working on the same show. I'd written some music to go with the show, and I was emceeing it. And Gareth was playing different Shakespeare characters. And he asked me whether I'd like to go and play some of my music to him at his house. And I thought that would be nice. And so I did, and he played me some of his songs. And I just thought that instantly his voice was something that ought to be heard and not just kept on the small sort of computer demos that he'd done on his own. So I put it to him that I could put a band together and help him produce his favourite songs, and this is where we are now.
He was waiting for his eye to strike, lying on that iron bed, when the memory of the woman he'd once loved to death comes dancing into his head. They told him she was nothing but trouble, oh, so pretty but so unkind. But looking at her was like a staring at the sun. Her beauty made him blind. He asked her, "How come you treat me so cruel when you know my love is true?" She said, "Most likely, my friend, I'm gonna break your heart. Fall in love with me and I'll break your heart. Shall I tell you why I'm gonna break your heart? I ain't got nothing better to do."
I come from a more experimental side of things in the way that I produce my records with the instrumentation that I normally go for. It's quite different to the simplicity of country, but I've really enjoyed exploring Dylan and Johnny Cash and going back to those records that I listened to a lot years ago, and putting my own sort of stamp on it as well.
I know Eddie Begley, and I trusted him, and he said, "You want to do a recording?" And I said, "Sure." You know, and he says there was a good country singer, and we're going to try to do a different thing to it. And I said, you know, interesting. And we're in Wales, and I thought, yeah, nice. It was, and I said yes, and it was fun because Gary, you sound very American. Mm. And I used to work in a country and western and southern rock bands back in America in the day. And I enjoyed the music because it's very relaxing and peaceful, and the people were good people, and it was fun. Yeah.
Well, I'm a convert to country music, and it started off really as a kind of stage show. It's a theatre piece, and I play this imaginary alter ego that I've created called Verge Clenthills, and I wrote songs for him and stories, and it's about the South and the low life and, you know, some white trash and whatever, and there's a kind of romanticism about it. But I tell stories. For example, we've got a sequence here about Jesse James and the barber, and the barber is a kind of loser. You know, he's never done anything. He's played in the same town all his life, and he's redeemed by the fact that he once met somebody who spoke about somebody who saw Jesse James riding by. And I do this little scene about Jesse James. I'll put my country hat on and... Oh, Jesse Woodson James was born in Clay County, Missouri. During the Civil War, he rode with Southern guerrilla later Chautauqua Trail, ambushing Union troops and trains. After the war, with his brother Frank and the younger brothers, he carried on his career as a robber and soon became the most famous outlaw in the West with a $25,000 dead alive price on his head. He robbed 17 banks and trains, and he took a loot totaling $200,000. He was shot in the back by a friend and relative, Bob Ford, while straightening a picture in his house. In a spring afternoon in 1882, his $500 coffin was lowered into a deep grave at the foot of a coffee bean tree in the Samuels yard. The whiteboard on his grave said, Jesse W. James, died April 3, 1882, aged 34 years, 6 months, and 28 days. Murdered by a coward whose name is not worthy to appear here. Why, Jesse James had come home at last.
Jesse James and the barber, take 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, bop.
Down Missouri once, just passing the time of day, and I stopped for a shave in a barber store that I passed along the way. Oh well, that barber, he was a small man, and his personality, it was great. Almost memorable thing about him was you'd forget his face next day you're around. He said himself, I'm a small town man, ain't nothing special about me. Oh, I never done nothing with my life, well, I just had to agree. He said, I lived Clay County all my life. He said with a kind of sigh, oh, I was born and bred in this two-bed shack, and this is where I'll die. Oh, well, my life don't amount to a handful of dust, but I'm proud, cause I'll tell ya why. Cause I once met a man who talked with a man who saw Jesse James riding by. Rolling by, rolling by, the years keep rolling on by. Put a prayer in your pocket, watch the river flow, try to love all the folks you used to know, while the years keep on rolling on by. Rolling by, oh, rolling by, the years keep rolling on by. Put a prayer in your pocket, watch the river flow, try to love all the folks you used to know, while the years